this video, we will talk about factory design pattern. To understand this, first go and watch my previous video, Simple Factory Pattern Programming Idiom. So this is the continuation of that video, okay? Yeah, like you will get clear understanding if you watch that and come here, okay? So as discussed in the previous video, what we have developed a pizza store, right? So, and then you are ordering the pizzas. Since you are ordering the pizzas, there could be different kinds of pizzas, no? Like cheese pizza, veggie pizza, and clam pizza, like that. So what we have done initially in the order pizza method itself, we had that instantiation logic. Like if the pizza type, if the customer has requested a cheese pizza, you will instantiate new veggie pizza or new cheese pizza, right? So, but whenever you add a new variety of pizza, you are changing this class, and since this class has to follow this open closed principle, what we have done, we have created a separate factory method where we have provided the instantiation logic like this. So what this pizza store does, it will call that factory method, okay, and then pass the type, and here you have all the instantiation logic. Even if a new pizza is added, what you will do, you will extend this pizza class, you will create a new pizza which extends this pizza class, and then you will add that here. So your pizza store class is not touched, and even if even if others classes need pizza instantiation logic or create pizza logic, they can call this method, right? Now let us think. You have one factory which is creating the pizzas, cheese pizza, clam pizza, veggie pizza, like that. Now let us suppose you want to create more factories. See here, this factory provides the pizzas. Like let's say this is giving you New York style pizzas, and you want pizzas of Chicago as well. Because if you see the food varieties, like even if it is the same item, like even let us consider pizza or let us consider another item, they prepare according to the regions. Like in that particular region, how they follow, how they eat, they prepare accordingly, because the way they make dishes in one region could be different from the way they make dishes in the other region. Though it is a cheese pizza or though it is a veggie pizza, maybe let us consider that you are preparing a veggie pizza, then in New York, based on the vegetables that are available, maybe they prepare accordingly. And in other areas, even though it is a cheese pizza or veggie pizza, according to the style they eat or according to their food preferences, they may prepare the same item a little different, right? Or you can consider another scenario as well. Like let us think. Initially car, it is not there, and a new person has started a brand like Tata or Bench. What they have done is they have started manufacturing the cars. So that particular brand has many varieties of cars inside that. Based on the model, they like, even if you consider the Tata or even if you consider Bench, in the Bench also you have different models of the cars, right? So you can consider that Bench as one factory. Inside that factory, based on the model, you can instantiate or you can give the classes of the Bench or the cars of the Bench. Later on, what happens is another person or another brand, they also wants to manufacture cars, okay? So let us suppose that is a Tata brand. They come into the market and they want to manufacture the cars. So their manufacturing style or the models or the type of cars they have, it could be different from the Bench, right? So one factory, you can compare that brand as a one factory, because Tata Motors can produce cars, it comes under it is another one factory, and Bench, it is another brand. They manufacture different kinds of cars, so that is another factory. So even when you consider the food varieties also, though it is the same item, you can consider pizza, or if it's an Indian style, you can compare with the idli dosa also. Then, but the way the food is prepared, or the varieties of food could vary from region to region. Maybe the batter that is used to prepare an item in one region is different from another region, right? So here initially we have started a pizza factory, and that is there only in the New York. And then based on the type, you prepare the cheese pizzas, veg pizza, and all. Then later on, they want to expand their business to another regions as well, like Chicago. Then what happens is, in the Chicago, the kinds of pizzas they request could be different. Though it is though those are the same kinds of pizzas, maybe the toppings they add or the spice they consume, it could be different. In few areas they consume more spices, and in few areas they consume less spices. So even on the veggie pizza, if you're adding the toppings, it could be different. Like the toppings they add could be less compared to another regions. So what happens is, there could be more factories that keep coming. So now initially you would have had, like, let's delete this simple pizza factory. What you do is, let me start some New York pizza factory. So whatever the logic you have in the simple factory, you can put the same logic in the simple pizza factory as well. But what happens is, but the pizzas that are getting instantiated are different. So what had happened is, the pizza item is same, okay, but if you consider the cheese pizza, what I'll do is, New York style cheese pizza, what happens, they will add this cheese, grated cheese, as a topping for New York style. Even if you see the clam pizza, it could be different. But if you see the Chicago style cheese pizza, what they add is, they might add a little different cheese, okay. So what we have done here is, you have a pizza class, okay, but you create specific varieties as the children of this pizza class. So if you see, this is NY stands for New York, okay. For New York style cheese pizza, you can extend the pizza and you can modify your constructor or modify other methods as well. Bake method, prepare method, it could be different. According, it varies from region to region, okay. So you have this NY style clam pizza, New York style veggie pizza, right? So in the same way, you have this Chicago style cheese pizza as well, okay. And you have your Chicago style clam pizza as well. But if you consider the simple pizza factories, what happens is, let's say a person asks you for cheese pizza, then you will get confused. Like you have to ask them, you are from which region. Even in the cheese pizza, I have regional style pizzas. I have New York style cheese pizza, I have the Chicago style cheese pizza. Then customer also has to pass the region as well, right? So if he, then what you can do, either you accept one more thing like string region, and then like whatever the pizzas you have, maybe if it is New York, if NY dot equals of the region, then what you can do, you will have this logic, right? You will have this if else clause. Then else what you can do, the same logic, whatever is here, you will put it, okay. But here, instead of cheese pizza, what you will have, NY style cheese pizza, okay. Then here, because it is New York, currently you have only two regions. In future you might end up like distributing pizzas in multiple areas, right? Now if it is not New York, what you can do here, you can instantiate Chicago style pizza, okay. So if the factories or if the business is expanding to multiple regions, be it the food business or be it the car business or anything, so you will end up in creating multiple varieties according to the regions. Now here you have, like whatever are here, you have to do like this, like, because this is for New York, okay. NY style pepperoni pizza, or you can do like this. But if you see here, even this class, you are modifying it multiple times. Now if a new region gets added, what you have to do, again you have to do some else if some region clause, and then you have to add everything. This is one approach. And the another approach is, anyway I have a factory, right? Like if you see the initial simple factory method, what we have done, you just have a factory, okay. Like you don't have all these if clauses. Now what happens is, you have this factory. So what you can do is, you can you can create another class, specific class for each factory. So for Newark style, what you can do is you can create NY pizza factory, and you can add only Newark related methods here. Whatever are here, whatever method you have here, what you can do is you can go to Newark style pizza factory and you can add it. So here you need not request for the region. Based on the type, you can create, you can instantiate pizzas. Okay, you can do like this. And the same goes for Chicago style pizza store as well. Like Chicago pizza factory, what you can do is you can add the same method. Now here you can instantiate only Chicago pizzas, right? This is one more approach to incorporate these factories. Now, okay, what you have done is, since you are expanding your business to multiple regions, you have created the products which are specific to the regions, like Chicago cheese pizza, Chicago style clown pizza, or New York style cheese pizza you have done. And then since you have to change the instantiation logic also. Instead of putting everything in a single factory, what you have done is you have created separate factories. For Newark, you have created a separate factory, and then you will like if a new pizza gets, like in Chicago, they want to introduce a new variety of pizza, then what you can do, you can come to this class and then you can modify only here. You need not change the other factories. Okay, and even if a new pizza gets added or removed in the Newark region, you can change only that particular factory. So this way, instead of putting everything in a single factory, if you create multiple factories for each region, what happens is whenever the changes happens, you can modify only that particular class. So this way you can avoid multiple, like you can avoid the same class getting modified for small changes as well, right? Now if you would have put all the changes in the simple pizza factory by adding here string region, what you need to do, even if a new region gets added, what happens, you have to add that else if clause, and this code gets changed, you have to test it again. But now by creating the separate factories, what happens, you can create a new factory, and then you can add like anyway you can create your region style pizzas by extending this pizza class, like how I have added. And you can create a new factory. Maybe if it is Dublin, then you can create Dublin pizza factory and you can create a new class. The existing classes are not getting affected. This is one of the advantage. Okay, now you have created the region style pizzas, you have created the pizza factories as well. Now how to order? Let's say a person comes and orders, how you will make use of these factories? Let's go back to the pizza store class. Now what happens here is, if you see here, you like initially what we were doing, we were directly calling the simple pizza factory dot create pizza. But now you don't know, you don't have a single factory, you have multiple factories. So what you can do is, in the like you can create a simple pizza factory as a super class, and then this NY pizza factory and the Chicago pizza factory can get extended from the simple pizza factory. Okay, like let me explain here. So what you can do is, now let's say you have a simple pizza factory here, simple pizza factory class here, and then what you can do is you can have this New York style pizza, and you can have this Chicago style pizza factory, and then even if you want to expand to a new region, you can have this Dublin pizza factory. You can do this. And what you can do is, like NY pizza factory extends simple pizza factory, something like that you can put. Maybe you can add this create pizza method as abstract here. You don't want this declaration. Now instead of all this, you can, what you can do is, like just do this public abstract pizza. Okay, now since this is an abstract, you don't need any declaration. Okay, so what you can do, you can do this. Now NY pizza factory extends it. Okay, now even the Chicago pizza factory also, you can extend this, you can extend this simple pizza factory. Okay, now the same thing goes here in by pizza factory. If you go to the pizza store now, what happens, while instantiation like now initially what you had, you were calling only simple pizza factory dot create pizza. Now also you can do the same thing. Okay, simple pizza factory, but you want to provide which pizza factory the person wants to use. The person has to tell, I am from the Chicago, I need this Chicago pizza factory. Okay, so what you can do is, while instantiating this pizza store itself, you can pass whatever pizza factory you need. Okay, now let's go how we let's do how you can do it. So what a person can do is, he can create this New York, like if a person wants New York style cheese pizzas, what he can do is New York pizza factory, and then in the pizza store what he can do is, he can pass this New York factory. So he can pass this New York. In the order of pizza method, what you have, factory dot create pizza of clam pizza or veg pizza. So when you order pizza by specifying this factory, it will create your New York style pizzas. Let's say a person wants, let's say a person wants clam pizzas. Okay, Chicago, let's say from a person from the Chicago wants veggie pizzas. What he can do, he can create a Chicago pizza factory, and then he can pass the Chicago factory to the pizza store right here. And what happens in the order, and then you can call this Chicago store dot order pizza. Okay, he can do that. You can do this order pizza. Okay, now this is so simple. Now with the help of this approach, what you can do is, you just have to instantiate one factory method. Before when you had just a single factory, what you were doing, you were just creating a new instance of pizza store, and then you are calling this order pizza of method by passing what you need, whether it's a veg pizza or clam pizza. But now what you are doing is, since you have multiple factories which are similar, you're instantiating that factory as well, and then you're passing that is the only difference. Okay, now well and good. This if you, with the help of this class, what happens is, even if a person adds another factory also, it is good actually. Like they can just extend this simple pizza factory method, and then they can create the pizzas. Okay, that is because we are using the composition here, you can create multiple factories. Now you can create multiple regional style factories, and then you can create multiple pizzas as well. Like if you want the Dublin style also, you can extend from the pizza class, and then factories also you can extend from the simple factory. But the issue with this particular approach, or the issue with this class is, if you look at the order pizza method, what happens is, this is all same. Okay, that pizza dot prepare, pizza dot walk, this is all same for all regions. Okay, like maybe in few regions they don't want to cut it, then also it follows the same process. So here your the logic that got separated from the factories is only the creation logic. What you are doing is, you are instantiating the whatever the factory you require, and then you are creating pizzas of that factory. But the preparation method, but the order in which the pizza is getting prepared is same for all regional style pizzas. Like first they have to prepare it, then they have to bake it, then they have to cut it, and then they have to box it. Like whenever a person, like from whatever region he is, that person orders a pizza, you are just creating the pizza of that style, and you are following the same process for all regional style pizzas. Now let us suppose New York store had come and they said that I don't want to cut my pizza, because my customers, they like it. You just imagine, this is a hypothetical scenario, they want to eat the pizza as a whole. They don't want to cut it into the pizzas, they don't want to put it in the box, they want to I want to pack it in some other different way. But you are still following the process. They don't want to cut the pizza, then you need to remove it. If you remove it, it will affect all factories. Since with this approach, you are not giving your factories the ability to pack the pizza or to order the pizza according to them. Only the creation part is according to the factories, but still the order in which they follow to prepare the pizzas is still common for all factories. if a factory or if a store from one region comes and says that I don't want this particular method, then you don't have that. If you remove it, it would get removed for all regions. Or if you add another specific method here, it gets affected to all factories with this approach. So to avoid that, what you can do is, okay, now you want, like, let's put this as a common process, okay, but let's also give an ability to the factory to implement their own implementation order piece of method. Let's also give the factory methods to, like, if they want to override order piece of method, right, let's give that ability to the factories to override this method. So when you will override this, you will override this like this in my pizza factory, if they want to implement their own implementation, you want to override this logic. When you will do, if this particular class extends from the pizza store, then only you will be able to override it, right? So you understood the disadvantage of this, because though the pizzas are getting created according to the regions, but still all regions are following the same process. If they want some logic to be removed from this method or to add to this method, then it will affect all the factories. So that's why let's give this as a default implementation to the factories, but let's also give the ability for the factories to override this. So that's why what you will do is, what I can do is, you have this pizza store, okay, let's put it as a default pizza store, okay, but I'll create my New York style pizza store, okay, which extends, like New York style pizza store which extends my pizza store. And anyway, I'm creating a separate store class for my region. I don't need these simple factories which you have created before. With the help, like, you can create simple factories, but you understood the drawback of this. So further, what you will do is, anyway, I'm creating the New York style pizza store. Instead of just overriding order piece of method, I'll transfer this create pizza logic method to New York style pizza. So you can see it here, right? Okay. Now what I'll do is, see here, order piece of method, I'll put this, and then since this extends pizza store, what it can do is, if it wants its own implementation, it can do that as well. And then I'll remove this factory method as well from here. I don't need this factory because I'm not using any factories. I'm just going with the New York style pizza store. Now here what you can do is, I'll create another method for the create pizza. So if you see here, what happens is, now you want to create pizzas, regional pizzas. So my New York style pizza store, it extends this pizza store, and then this create pizza method is declared as the abstract, okay. Here that is declared as the abstract. Now here if you see here, this is declared as the abstract method. Now my New York style pizza store extends this pizza store, and then whatever the creation logic you have in here, that is shifted here, okay. So you will have all this New York style pizza stores and all. And even if it wants to override some logic in the order pizza, then you can do that, okay. If you don't want to cut it, it can use the same method here, okay, and then it can remove it. It will perfectly work fine, right? Like if it don't want to cut, then you can do this. So this way what happens is, this change whatever I have added, this is only for the New York style pizza, and this logic remains same for all other stores. Now you can do the same thing for Chicago style pizza store as well. So if you see the Chicago style pizza store, what you can do is, you have this extends pizza store, okay. And so whenever you order a pizza, what happens is, the same logic gets executed. But the only difference is, since you have made this create pizza of method as abstract, it has to implement that create pizza abstract method, and it has to instantiate the pizzas. But the other process remains same. Even if it don't want this other process, it can override it in the child class. Okay, now you understood it, right? So what had happened initially, you had only single factory, okay, that you considered as a simple factory programming idiom. Later on, since you are expanding your business, you need to create multiple factories. Okay, when you created multiple factories, then you need to create products of those factories, right? So that's why what you have done, you have created multiple factories, and you thought I'll use instantiation logic of that by passing my factory method here, like how you have done it here, by passing that factory, and I can order the pizza. Then my pizza, like my New York style pizzas, gets created. But if you want to change the process, then with this approach it's not possible. So that's why what we have done is, you will create another pizza store. You will get rid of all the pizza factories that you have created, which are the simple pizza factories, and then you will extend this pizza store. And then what you can do is, you can add your instantiation logic here. So to make use of this instantiation logic, what you have done is, you have declared this create pizza of method as abstract. So whenever a person wants New York style pizzas, now what they have to do is, they have to create this New York style pizza store, and then they have to order New York style pizza dot order pizza of method. Okay, right? So if you see here, Chicago style pizza. Okay, now if you see what a person has done, like let's say a person want New York style pizzas, what he can do is, he can create an object for New York pizza store. Okay, and then he can order the pizza, New York style pizza dot order pizza of method. So what happens is, when you create an instance of New York style, and when you invoke order piece of method cheese, what happens is, it will you have this create piece of method as abstract. Okay, and since it don't have any implementation here, it will go to New York style, and it will get the pizza, New York style pizza, and then it will invoke all these methods on this. Okay, this is the factory method design pattern. Okay, so let's go to the class diagram of this. So if you see here, what happens, you have one pizza store class. Okay, and you have create piece of method and order piece of method. Okay, now create piece of method, what you have done, you have made this as an abstract method, because you want these pizzas to get created according to the regional style. Like if it is a New York style, you want New York style pizzas, or if it is a Chicago style, you want Chicago style pizzas. So that's why what you do is, you let subclasses handle that logic. Okay, now what happens is, I'll create New York style pizza store, I'll create Chicago style pizza store, and then since this method is an abstract method here, and you have added create piece of method here and provided the implementation logic. Okay, this is how the factory design pattern works. If you talk about the simple factory, so maybe just a single store can be considered as a simple factory, but if you have multiple stores, then that comes under the factory method design pattern. Now let's see this. What had happened is, you have two parallel hierarchies here. One is, if you see, one is the pizza store hierarchy, where New York style pizza store extends. Okay, and you have creation logic here, right? And you have another parallel hierarchy, where you declare pizza as the super class here, pizza as the super class, and then you have all New York style cheese pizza getting extended from pizza, veg pizza, clam pizza, all these gets extended from this. So this is the product, like this particular class diagram is for the product, where the actual product hierarchy, and this is the preparation or the pizza store logic. So here if you see, you have two parallel hierarchies, New York style pizzas getting extended from pizza, and then New York style pizza store getting extended from the pizza store. This is the class diagram, right? Now if you look here, what happens is, you have your pizza store method. Okay, you have your pizza store class, and then order pizza of method implementation is provided in the pizza store, and if New York style wants to change this implementation, it can do it in its own class. But you have made this create piece of method as abstract, so that New York style pizza can create all these pizzas. Okay, right? So what had happened, whenever you should create an instance of New York style pizza store, and then you can order the pizza. When you order the pizza, what happens is it will call create pizza of method that is declared in the New York style, and then all these pizzas gets created. Okay, this is the factory design pattern. You can see the same thing here. First, what we have done is, when you are expanding your business to multiple regions, you have created the regional style pizzas which extends from the pizza class. And then what you have done is, you went to your pizza store class, you tried to add these simple factories, but that did not work because the implementation logic is not extensible, right? This is not changeable, you cannot modify it. That's why what you have done is, you declare this creation logic as abstract. This is a factory method. Okay, so the factory method always has this abstract, and then if you see, this can be parameterized or not parameterized. So in few cases what happens is, if you consider the Chicago style, maybe initially they start only veg pizzas, or everywhere, maybe according to the government regulations, they want to ban few varieties of pizzas. Let's say they want to ban cheese pizzas, they want to ban cheese pizza, clam pizza, everything, and they want only veg pizzas to get delivered to the customers. Then what happens, you don't need this parameter, right? Okay, and then in the New York style pizzas, like in the New York style pizza store, what you can do is, you can just instantiate Chicago style veg pizza. So it can be parameterized or not parameterized. It's not a mandatory condition. So your factory method will have is an abstract method, and the return type of that is the product, because as the name suggests, factory is nothing but a method or a class which produces. Factory is nothing but which produces something. Here it produces your products here. Okay, so this method will give you the product, and that product depends. Okay, like it could be Chicago style pizza store, or it could be the veg pizza. It depends on what classes you are instantiating, or what parameter you are passing. This is the factory method. So if you see the factory method, it's just that you create a method as an abstract, and let subclasses, okay, let subclasses decide this instantiation logic. Okay, this is a factory method design pattern. Now you might get another doubt. So I feel, if you see this Chicago style pizza store and then New York style pizza store, the only difference what I can see is, it is just a replica of simple factories, because the same logic we had in the simple factories, and here you have another simple factory. Like you can think this as an, in a simple factory you have just one factory, but in the factory design method you have multiple simple factories, right? You might get that doubt. But here, along with multiple simple factories, you have this flexibility of changing this logic as well in the factory design method design pattern. That is one more advantage. Okay, like it's just that you have one simple in the simple factory you have just one factory that is producing the products, but in the factory method design pattern you have multiple stores or multiple factories that are producing the products. And that is when what you have done is, you have declared this class as an abstract, and you have provided this method as an abstract, and let subclasses handle this logic. Okay, got it. Now you can compare this with the different, as I have explained in the beginning itself. Maybe you can consider this Chicago style pizza store, NY pizza store, as bench store, or you can consider this as a Tata store, or you can have other stores also. When you compare with the mobile store, what you can do is, maybe you can consider this as an Apple store, and you can consider this as a Samsung store. You can consider different brands here. So when a person wants a mobile, uh like when he wants some mobile, and that is of Apple. Okay, so what he can do, he can create this Apple store method, and then he can ask for which model he wants. Okay, now your and one more thing is, not only the instantiation logic, like you can like if you look at these classes, what you can think is, when you look at the Chicago style, you get a clear idea. Okay, if I want to add any something related to the Chicago, come here and modify it. You're segregating that logic as well, right? Even if you go for the mobile store application, okay, whenever you want to look at what classes that are getting added for the Apple store, you can come to the Apple store class, right? And you can modify it here. Okay, yeah, this is the factory method design pattern. Let's go to the class diagram. So what happens here is, you have two parallel hierarchies that are present here. One thing is, you have a product, right? And then another thing, you have a product interface that is declared here, product interface or the product abstract class. And then you have concrete products. So here also you can see, right, you have parallel hierarchies. So you have pizza. This is, you can compare with the product, because pizza is the product, ultimately you prepare it. And then all the concrete products are this NY style cheese pizza, Chicago style pizza, all these are the concrete products. And one more hierarchy, what you have is creator, the creator, because the store creates the products, right? In the creator method, what you have is, you have one factory method, okay, and your concrete creator implements this factory method and provides the instantiation logic, or and it can provide the products, and you have the operations that you can do on that product, right? Even here you create a pizza, okay, and then you prepare it, you bake it, or you are performing all operations that you can perform on the pizza. The same thing is described here. So you can understand with the say here like here itself, you have a pizza store that will create the pizzas, or that will give you pizzas. So here, first you declare this create pizza of method, because this is the factory method which gives you the pizzas. Here create pizza of method gives you the pizzas, and you left that implementation to the New York style pizza stores. Okay, the same thing is explained here itself. Now let's go to the definition. So if you see the definition here, the factory method pattern defines an interface for creating an object, but let subclasses decide which class to instantiate. So if you see here, what you have done, you have created one abstract class, okay? You have created one abstract class, a pizza store, and then you have created one abstract method, and then you let subclasses decide, right? So what happens here is, see, if you look at the definition, defines as an interface for creating an object. What you have done, you have declared one abstract method for creating pizzas. Here object refers to pizzas here, for creating the pizzas, and but let subclasses decide which class to instantiate. So here what happens, you are creating the pizzas, but based on the type, or based on the logic, subclasses will create these kinds of pizzas, right? You are just declaring a method here, but subclasses are actually creating the pizzas, maybe based on the type the user passes, or based on so and so parameters. Subclasses are the ones which are actually creating it, right? So defines an interface for creating an object, but let subclasses decide which class to instantiate. Now factory method lets a class differ instantiation to subclasses. Okay. Now though the method is declared here, thus you are differing, or you are handling this responsibility your children classes to create the pizzas, right? That is what declared here. Now if you want this logic to work, or I can I can walk through the example here itself. So what I'll do is, I'll order Chicago style pizzas. Okay. So if you order the Chicago style pizzas, what you are doing, like let's see here. Initially you have created New York pizza store. Okay. You are creating an object for this, because you always create objects to the subclasses, not to the super types, right? Then because you should program to an interface, not an implementation, but the objects are actually gets created for the implementations only. So you are creating the New York style pizza store, and then what you are doing is, you are ordering the pizza, right? New York style pizza dot order pizza of cheese. Okay, then what happens here? It will go to this particular logic, and based on that it will create the pizzas. The same thing is defines an interface for creating an object. Here it defines an interface for creating an object, but let subclasses decide which class to instantiate. Though it creates a method, the subclasses are the one which has the actual logic that it can create the products, right? The same, yeah. And it lets the class differ instantiation to subclasses, because the subclasses are the ones which instantiates this, right? So that is what is defined here. Yeah, that's it about the factory method design pattern. Don't get confused with the simple factory, because many times people think that simple factory is the actual factory design pattern, but it is not so. Simple factory, it's just a programming idiom, and simple factory forms as a foundation for the factory method design pattern. Okay, yeah, that's it.